Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Johnny TCG video. Today I'm bringing you a GECKO Moria list that I've been enjoying a lot. I played GECKO in OP07, but in OP08 I haven't really been playing him much. I've been enjoying Starter Deck 14 Luffy more. Pretty much everyone is off the GECKO train right now. Lucci is just way too popular as a black deck for anyone to really give a crap about GECKO. But with the meta shifting a little bit in 8.5, I thought, why don't I give him another shot? I mean, GECKO Moria, he's able to cheat bodies out, kind of like Dofi, and so I wondered if he would have a good matchup into it. One thing that you'll immediately notice about this deck is that there are no OP08 cards. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't really think any of them fit into this deck that well. This deck is pretty much standard from what people were playing in OP07. I don't really think there's a lot of changes that needed to be made. Unfortunately, it didn't get any huge buffs. Some people might play Jack, but I just don't know where it fits in the deck for me. Maybe you could take out the Ishos and play Jack instead. I don't think you'd be crazy to do that. Also, the 8 cost Secret Rare Sabo from OP07, I don't think that's a bad choice either. But right now, I've just been testing out this build, and frankly, it still feels good. The only card that I could see GECKO using from the Smoker starter deck would be Hina. Hina's 4 cost, Navy searchable, 6,000 power. These are all pretty good stats, and her abilities are great too. Dawn times 1 opponent's turn. She's going to get plus 4 cost, making her an 8 cost. That's pretty good. And then on top of that, she has an activate main once per turn. You may put one card from your trash to the bottom of your deck, and then you can give your leader or one of your characters one rest at dawn. This makes GECKO's leader ability 1 dawn cheaper. Normally it's 3 dawn, now it's only 2. That's pretty good. She's brand new searchable. Like, all these things make me feel like she would fit in this deck, but I just don't know what to cut. Like, my first instinct is maybe we cut a Sakazuki and a Brook, but is it worth just having 2 of her in this deck? I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure this video will attract some cultured GECKO enjoyers, and so I would love to hear what kind of spice you're cooking and what kind of adjustments you think this deck could use in 8.5 meta. For those that don't know, GECKO's ability is Dawn times 1, and then you may rest 2 Dawn as well. When you're attacking, trash the top 2 cards of your life, a card from your hand, and then bring a cost 4 or less Thriller Bark character from your trash into play. Profit. This is amazing early game when you're able to cheat out bodies, and a lot of these cards have really relevant effects. The milling on the ability is good because you're going to want to bring cards back with your 8 cost GECKO and your leader ability. In my opinion, the ideal opening play is going first, playing down a Sindri, trashing the top 5 cards of your deck. Then the next turn, you're going to use leader ability, swing 6,000 into their leader, or if they have a searcher, you can swing into that too. And then you're going to play out a Perona. Perona, let me tell you about Perona. I love this card. If you can chain multiple together early in the game, it's so much fun. Just to troll your opponent. This is probably the ultimate troll strategy. Her ability is on play. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, choose one of these abilities. You can either make them trash 1 card from their hand or give -4 cost to one of their characters. You can even chain these back to back, and then you're just getting crazy value. You're developing a 4 or 5 body that is also a 2K. Chef's kiss for Perona. Our ideal top end, of course, is the 8 cost GECKO Moria. Frankly, it seems like any black deck can stand at least a slight chance in the meta because they can play this card. 8 cost GECKO, you're able to bring back a bunch of different 4 costs in this deck. Kuzan's a great option, Rebecca's a great option. One strategy that I really like is using Dr. Hogback. Dr. Hogback allows you to bring back a GECKO Moria from your trash, meaning that if you accidentally trash a GECKO Moria when you're milling, or if your opponent KOs it, play a Dr. Hogback off of leader ability. Playing it regularly or playing it off another GECKO Moria allows you to bring a GECKO Moria in your trash back to your hand, setting you up for the next turn to drop the GECKO. I feel like a lot of people have forgot about this deck. While it's not probably the best black deck, that of course goes to Lucci, I do think it's still pretty strong, and I think it will catch people off guard because they have not played against the Gecko in a long time. The 8.5 meta, there's probably going to be a lot of decks cheating out bodies. Whether, of course, it's Blue Doflamingo, who's probably going to be the most popular deck, or even Purple Luffy with their 7-cost Luffy Taro. They now have the ability to cheat out bodies as well. We're going to need bodies of our own to swing into those and put pressure on them. Gecko might be an answer for that. We've got some really good meta-relevant games today. We've got a Purple Luffy. We've got a Blue Dofi, and we also have an OP8.5 Perona. Obviously, Perona is not really meta-relevant, but it still is an interesting matchup nonetheless. Perona is able to rest a 4-cost or less on your field, and so therefore it makes things awkward because we play a lot of 4-costs. Before we get to the gameplay, you know we have to do a giveaway. Johnny TCG is a man of the people. We're doing another giveaway today. Today we're going to give away a GECKO Moria card. Boom. The holo on it is so nice. It's got a nice shine to it. It's got a nice color to it. If you want to be swagged out at locals, enter the giveaway. All you have to do is 1, leave a like, and 2, leave a comment. If we get 25 likes in the first 24 hours, I'll send it to one US-based commenter completely free. I do not own the artwork. This is from the One Piece Treasure Cruise game. I'm not selling this. This is just a fun passion project, and if you win it, congrats. If you like the content, consider hitting the subscribe button. We are almost at 700 subscribers. We have to make it to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, or else my wife threatened to throw out my Tony Chopper plush. I'm going to throw up a picture of him on screen because he is so cute, and I would be heartbroken if he gets thrown out by my wife. So definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't let Chopper die. He's too cool of a guy. He's just a little doctor. Alright, that's enough of that segment. Roll the gameplay. Thank you for watching. First up, we have a game against Purple Luffy, a matchup you are going to see a ton of this meta. We are going to be going first. We like to go first. We get to use our leader ability on turn 2. We're going to play a Sindri down for 1 Don, and we do get the Perona in our trash, which is probably our favorite card to see in the trash early game. That is so good. I love making my opponent trash a card from their hand. They are going to do a 1-cost Event Searcher and find the OP8.5 Eustace Captain Kid blocker. That is nothing to be afraid of right now. We are just going to actually do a 1 Don leader swing using ability. Not sure exactly what card I should trash. Probably the Absalom, I'd say. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Absalom. Then we're going to bring back the Perona, make them trash 1 card from their hand. That feels so good. Purple Luffy needs every card in its hand that it can get, just because you really want to protect that life a little bit, because you're going to be taking it on your own. They're going to trash the 0-cost event, and then they're going to give me the Franosuke 2K. I will happily take that deal. They're going to start by going 5,000 into my leader. I am just going to take this. There is no point in me countering out of this. We get the Brook. That is a decent find. We will be able to play that off the Rebecca if we so please. They, for 5 Don, are going to play down the Eustace Captain Kid blocker, and that's their turn. I'm going to need to make sure I'm swinging over that Kid blocker. I don't think I have a way to remove it right now, so that is a little bit unfortunate. We're going to do the same thing as last turn, except this time we're going to swing 7,000 with our Perona. Taking a look at our trash, we do not have another Perona to play, which we would love to. We do have an Hogback, though, and that'll be able to grab us the Moria that we milled earlier, which is perfect. The 7,000 power swing is going to hit, and so now we're going to swing 6,000 with our leader. We're going to be able to play out Hogback with our leader ability and then bring that Gecko back to our hand. Gecko is the big boss monster of this deck, and so we need to make sure that we have one in our hand when we can. Sending 2 cards back to the deck, we are going to send a Brook. That Brook, while it's great, is not necessary because we already have one in our hand. They're going to block with Eustace Captain Kidd and then give me a 1k Mr. Tube on Clay counter to keep that Eustace Captain Kidd alive. That's fine with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is going perfectly fine. They will probably play the 7-cost Luffy Taro this turn, and there we go. Here we are. They play the Sangoro with it. That is probably my least favorite card to see off of that Luffy Taro, just because it's so good and it's going to get them crazy card draw. Here's where I face a real dilemma, and I would really appreciate hearing from you in the comments below on what you think I should do. Luffy will be able to play out the 9-cost Rush Kaido next turn, and for that reason, Sabo would make a big difference and protect my board, put up a blocker that can't be KO'd. None of my characters can be KO'd by effects. But if I do that, then I cannot use leader ability, and I really want to use leader ability, of course. And so I am actually going to play Rebecca along with a 4-cost for my trash. Perona I'm going to go with, making my opponent trash a card. This is a really good play, I'd say, but is it the best play in this situation? Because they could possibly have the 9-cost super rare Kaido to pop one of my characters and then swing into me with Rush. That's going to be 5 swings I could potentially have to deal with next turn, and that feels bad. So I'm not really sure if I made the right play. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It did give me another body with Perona, which is great, but alas, I will be susceptible to a Kaido play. Off of the Rebecca search, I'm going to take the Perona from my trash just to have another 2k, and I'm not going to play anything off of Rebecca's effect. My opponent's at 10 Don. Here's the moment of truth. We could also see the 9-drop Linlin. That would be a great play for them. 7,000 with Sangoro. I gotta let it go. Or I don't have to, but I chose to. And here they come with the 9-drop Kaido. I knew I should have played the Sabo. I should have listened to my heart. It's not the end of the world. Or maybe it is. Are they going to just put too much pressure on and prevent me from responding right now? They're going to pop the Rebecca with Kaido. Then they're going to swing 6,000 at me. I have the counter for that. 8,000 at me. I should have countered out of that too, but I didn't. And then they hit me with 10, and I was not going to give them all that counter. Maybe I should have, but because now I'm kind of on the clock. If I don't kill them this turn, I think it might be over for me. I'm looking at my trash for an Absalom. I do have it. I'm also thinking, what if I do a GECKO Rebecca play? Not exactly sure what the best play possible is right now. They only have 1 life, and I am going to be able to remove this blocker, so I think numbers-wise I might have it. We're going to do leader ability, swing 7, and bring back the Absalom. Since we used Ice Age, we did lower the cost of their Eustace Kidd blocker, so we can KO it. Now they're going to have to take 3 7,000 power swings. They do counter out of that first one. This really feels bad. They've got 4 cards in hand. A 7,000 power swing does not feel great. Now they've got 5 cards in hand. A 7,000 power swing feels even worse. Are they bricked up? Let's find out. Pause. And we got it. They only had 1k of counter. I think that instead of popping my Rebecca with the Kaido, they should have popped the Perona or the Hogback just to play it a little bit safer. My 2 cents though. Let me know if you disagree. Next up, we're taking on a green-black Perona. This leader is really fun. I think it's a sleeper for this meta. If they draw well, they get their searchers out early, they see a Ryuma out for turn 2, I think it can compete with the Dofi. Alright, maybe not. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic, but hypothetically, in a perfect world, it might be able to. I don't know. Turn 1, we're going to do a Sindri play, fill up that trash so that we can do a leader summon this turn. 6,000 with leader, trashing the Helmeppo, bringing out the Perona. You know we love this play. Perona on Perona violence. Making them trash a card. They trash the 5-cost Sabo. We are happy to see that go. But that can easily be brought back with a Rebecca. They're going to counter out of our 6,000 leader swing with a one-legged toy soldier 2k. That is pretty interesting. Ideally, this Perona will survive another turn, but knowing Perona, they're probably going to rest it, swing into it, and then I'm in a lose-lose situation, because if I counter out of this, they'll probably just drop a Ryuma. I have to assume as much, and so countering out of this would just waste the resource. So we will let it go. Here I expect to see a blocker or a Ryuma. Here we go with the 4-cost Borsellino. That is going to be good in this matchup because I cannot answer it at all. I just have to swing over it and hope that they use it as a blocker. I'm just going to swing, use leader ability, and hope that they block with the Borsellino or just take a life. We are going to trash the Helmeppo. Not a lot of counter in our hand. That feels a little bit awkward, but we want to use leader ability here, and those Ice Ages could be valuable. We're going to play the Hogback from the trash, bringing back our GECKO Moria. You know we need that GECKO Moria in order for this deck to really function, so bringing it back with Dr. Hogback. Perona would not have gotten any value because they were only at 4 cards. They let that big swing hit, and now they're down to 3 life. Being a 4-life leader in this meta feels pretty bad, and so that is one of the disadvantages of playing Perona right now. They're going to rest Hogback and swing 7,000 into him. I can't save him even if I wanted to, but even if I could, I wouldn't, just because they can threaten the Ryuma, and I'm going to waste counter on a card that is just going to be KO'd anyway. For 7 done, our usual play is doing a leader swing for 6,000, using leader ability to cheat out a card from our trash. This time it'll be Perona. They're going to have to trash a card, which is great. They give me the You Can Be My Samurai. Then we're going to play down a 4-drop. We got lucky and we drew the Rebecca. That is probably one of the better 4-drops for us to find right now. They will be able to rest it, and so we won't get any blocker value, but at least it'll allow us to pick back up a 2K, and so we'll go with the Perona. Taking a Sabo there wouldn't have been a bad idea, potentially for next turn, but I am liking Ice Age in a GECKO play next turn, and if I have an Absalom in the trash, hopefully I'll be able to KO something. They're going to be at 8 down. We could see a GECKO play here from them. I'm not sure what they have in their trash, but a GECKO play is a GECKO play, you know? You can almost never go wrong with it, folks. And that is probably why GECKO should be banned. Maybe. 7,000 at Rebecca. That is fine with me. Then they're going to play the Brook 6-cost to trash our Perona. They cleared our board just about, and they're in a really good spot, I'd say. I'm lucky I have the GECKO, because if not, I'd be in a weird position. I'm going to start out by going 6,000 into their life. They'll have to take, give me counter, or block. I really need to get those Borsellinos off the board. Them just sitting there menacingly are really going to throw a wrench in my game plan. They're going to block and counter to keep the Borsellino alive. I could play Sakazuki here, along with maybe Ice Age to get rid of the Brook, but GECKO feels like the better play to me. I'm going to go with GECKO into Rebecca into Brand-New. We do find the Suru off the Brand-New, which is good. We'll take the 2K, and then off the Rebecca, we will take a Perona, just for the sake of her being a 2K, and then we'll play out the 3-cost Brook off of Rebecca. This is more so just as a pseudo blocker, because I imagine they're going to want to swing into it. It would have been maybe better to play a bigger body off of GECKO instead of Rebecca. But the thing is, it could be rested anyway and swung into. I'd rather use Rebecca so that I can cheat out Brook and take a 2K from my trash. Let me know if you disagree with that play, though. I would definitely take some suggestions. They will start out with the 5,000 swing into Brook. I'm going to take that. They are going to do a 6,000 swing into Rebecca. I think that's kind of a misplay. No reason to swing into Rebecca. Just swing into my life and force me to give you cards or take life. I think they're playing a little bit conservatively here. They're going to drop the Dofi. It's not the most valuable Dofi, as it's only freezing my leader. But I guess I can't do leader swing, and hey, a 10K big body like that is still a big body. They'll take it. We're going to start out with a 9,000 swing from GECKO into their Borsellino that was rested. Maybe I should have gone into the Brook, because that Borsellino can come right back with a GECKO play. So yeah, maybe I should have swung into the Brook, but alas, we continue on. I'm thinking maybe we swing. I'm wondering how we should do this. We're going to do Ice Age Sakazuki to get rid of their Dofi. This feels so good. We're going to trash the Absalom. And I don't really have anything else to do with 3k. I could have swung 5,000 into their leader with Sindri, but they would have just blocked that for free with Borsellino. No reason to go through with the trouble of that. It does feel bad to leave 3 down up, but hey, what can you do? Nothing much. 5,000 at me with their leader. I'm thinking I take this, get a resource from my life. I'm hoping it would be a Gecko, but we do get the Kuzan, which I think is probably not the worst card in the world to pull right now. 6,000 with Brook into our life. I am expecting another Dofi play here. That would be kind of brutal though. But at least we have Sakazuki to swing big with. 10 down still up. Here we are. 10 cost Dofi. Gonna lock down our Gecko. Through the grace of the spirits above, we do top deck another GECKO Moria. This will be a great response to their 10 cost Dofi. With my remaining 2 Dawn, I'm gonna put them on Sakazuki and swing 9,000 into Brook. I really hope this goes through, but I guess if it doesn't, that's fine with me too, because they would have just had to give me 2 cards out of their hand. They're going to block with the Borsellino. That kind of indicates that maybe they have a Gecko coming next turn, because I think the Borsellino might be more valuable than the Brook right now. Here we go with Gecko. We are going to play the Hogback and the brand new. Off the brand new, we do take the Borsellino, but I don't think Sakazuki would have been a bad idea either. Then Hogback, we are going to take another GECKO Moria so we can chain another one. 3 Geckos in a row is so oppressive. That is rough for my opponent. Since I will have Gecko, since I just played a new Gecko, I will have one standing, which is nice. So if they do another Doflamingo turn, which would be pretty crazy as well in response, at least I'll be able to swing big with the Gecko. Let's see what they do though. 10 Dawn up. They're going to start by doing 5,000 into brand new. I will happily give them that. Maybe it's just me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think they should have just swung into life. They have not applied any pressure to my life so far, and I think they need to apply more. Now 6,000 with Brook into Hogback. I'm just going to let that go because I want to save counter for potentially my Sakazuki here. With 10 Dawn still up though, they are potentially going to drop another Dofi, and so countering out just for it to get locked down would be a waste of resources. I will let it go. They do drop another Dofi, 3rd in a row, which feels so bad. But alas, at least we do have a Gecko still up, and we are going to be able to drop another Gecko. That feels pretty crazy. I wish that Kuzan was in the trash. That would be a very nice card to play. I'm thinking here that we swing 11,000. Do we go into Brook to guarantee the KO? Do we go into Dofi to try to get one of their big boss monsters off the field? I think we should play it a little bit safe and go into Brook. We could even be crazy and go into life, but I don't think that is necessarily the right play either. So why don't we do Brook, 11,000 into 6. They've got to give it to me. And RIP Brook. Now it's time for another Gecko play. It's getting ridiculous, folks. I'm not exactly sure what to bring back. I'm going to do the Hogback just because he's a legitimate swing. We take the Kuzan off the brand new search, which maybe we should have just not even taken the Kuzan and let it be in our trash just as another character to potentially bring out with another Gecko. Then off the Hogback, we are going to bring a Perona. That's just another 2k. I could have went Rebecca, but I'd rather get the swing, which Hogback will provide. We've got a lot of counter in hand, so I'm going to try to keep my Geckos alive. If they do 4 Dofis in a row, hey, so be it. It's crazy they didn't even search for them, too. This is all just heart of the cards, giving them 3 Dofis in a row. Starting out 5,000 into brand new. That's fine with me. These brand news are acting like pseudo blockers, and they certainly don't need to be. So I am happy to let that brand new go. They're definitely going to think about how they want to divvy up these swings. Putting down on their 1 Dofi tells me that no, we do not have to worry about the 4th Doflamingo. I'm debating on what to do here. I am going to counter out of this swing. I'm going to make it so if they want to take out these Geckos, they're going to have to sacrifice Dawn that they could have used to play other characters. Right now they're at 7 down, which I think is a little awkward for a Perona. I'm not sure what they could possibly play there. That would be of great value. They're going to do 13 into my other Gecko, so I'm going to give them all my counter in my hand. Going down to 2 cards feels a little bit risky, but we're in a great spot right now. Look at that board, ladies and gentlemen. It does not get much better than that. 3 Geckos and a Hogback. And of course, we still have Leader Swing as well. We can go game here. I also consider just throwing down 2 Kuzans and chilling. But I think we have lethal, so we'll start out with a low down commitment play. We're going to swing 7,000 with Hogback. That goes through. With 8 down remaining, 3 Geckos, and a Leader Swing, I think I am fine. I've got it in the bag. They would need Divine Intervention to survive this one. 9,000 with my first Gecko. They will take that. 9,000 with my next Gecko. Will they counter out? They will block out of this one. 9,000 with this other Gecko, my third Gecko. I could have given him a Don and had him swing for more. But I'm still leaving 8 Don up in case I want to do 2 Kuzans. That'll set me up perfectly to get lethal next turn. Maybe I just do 1 Kuzan even. Just swing big with Leader and then throw down a Kuzan. They are able to counter out of that. We'll do 5,000 with Leader. Or should I add more? We'll do 5,000. Do they have a counter? They do not. This game's over, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to play down 2 Kuzans just kind of as an insurance policy. They can rest 1, so be it. They won't be able to get rid of my entire board. We did draw a little bit of counter with those Kuzans, which are great. And yeah, there's nothing they can do right here that'll change the tide of battle. 5,000 at my Kuzan. I think I just give him the 1K. Might as well at this point. It doesn't matter. I'm going to speed this up to 1.5 because there's nothing they can really do to win this. It's just a matter of passing the turn back to me. 10,000 at my Gecko. I will give him the Tsuru 2K just to keep it alive. Then they play down the Sabo and concede. That's game. Honestly, not the best match. Maybe don't even include it. It just seemed like maybe they were still learning the deck, or I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. GG's though. Now for the man of the hour, Blue Doflamingo. Everybody and their mother are going to be playing this deck in 8.5. Just about. They're going to be on the odd curve, starting out with a buggy. They're going to be able to set the top 3 cards of their deck. We will respond with a brand new. I do the brand new instead of the Sindri just because, while the brand new is less value maybe, the Sindris are 2Ks and I can keep them in my hand. 7,000 at me with Leader, cheating out the Jinbei, and then off the Jinbei playing Croc. They are off to a hot start. We get the Ice Age trigger, and with that I decide to get rid of the buggy just because with various cards, they could send that buggy back to their hand, and that is a useful 2K to have. Here, I'm going to do a big swing into Jinbei and then cheat out Dr. Hogback. That was my original plan. But trigger warning, ladies and gentlemen, I screw up big time. I thought I had Hogback already in my trash, and then I trashed the Helmeppo instead of the Hogback in my hand, and so I can't play out anything. Complete waste of 2 Don. This is a crucial mistake early on into the game. Now they're going to hit me with the pudding. Things keep getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to crash out. 5,000 at me with Jinbei. I counter that. 5,000 with Croc. I don't counter that. I take that. And then 6,000 with their Leader. I will counter that. They've got no cards in hand. They've got 2 cards in hand. I'm thinking though, even though I'm off to a rough start, I'm in a pretty good position. I just need to clear their board a little bit. I'm going to start by doing 7,000 into the Jinbei. I really hope this goes through. But if not, if they want to give me both cards from their hand as counter, fair enough. Here, I'm going to play out Rebecca, and I have the choice between taking Perona or Brooke. I think Brooke makes a lot of sense as it will act as a pseudo blocker during their turn, and they'll probably want to swing into it and get rid of it. That's why I play out the Brook. Having Perona in my hand would be nice, but also the Perona I can bring back with the Gecko next turn if I feel so inclined. They hit me with the Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. That stinks. It's not bad that I got Rebecca removed from the board and Brook removed from the board. What really stinks is that they were bottom decked, and now I don't have any removal in my trash. Man, does this feel bad. I've got no removal in the trash. I've got no removal in my hand. I'm set up pretty well, but I just can't remove anything. We're going to do a Gecko into Rebecca into brand new. Off the brand new, we get a Suru. That's good. Off Rebecca, I think we should take the Perona 2K, but at the same time, Sabo would have been good too. In hindsight, maybe Sabo's the better pick because then I can cycle my hand and set myself up better, looking for some KO cards. They've got another Gravity Blade Raging Tiger to get rid of my Rebecca and brand new. That seems like overkill, but hey, it's working for them so far. It's going to bite me in the butt when I need to bring back a Rebecca. 5,000 with Pudding, I take that. I think probably I should have countered. I've got 2Ks in my hand. I might as well use them. I'll counter out of the Croc swing, and I'll counter out of their leader swing. We do have a Dr. Hogback, which is good. I believe I have a Gecko in the trash I can bring back. I do. That'll be nice for next turn. We're going to do 5,000 with leader and Gecko as well, clearing their board. I'm thinking we're in a very good position right now. We can do Hogback, bring back the Gecko to our hand, which will be nice, and then we can also play out a Perona just as a body. I think I'm in an amazing position, ladies and gentlemen. I think I came back very nicely from that early misplay. But Dofi moves fast. They can come back in an instant. For 4 Dawn, they're going to drop the EB01 Weevil. This card has been getting a little bit more expensive, folks. If you haven't picked it up, now might be the time. And then they're just going to swing big into life. Luckily, I can counter this. If they have Perfume Femur, then I'd be a sitting duck next turn. This feels bad. We do not have any blockers in hand. I don't have any blockers in trash because they frickin' Gravity Blade Raging Tigered both my Rebeccas. This is a really bad situation. I have no cards that can KO in trash. Imagine how differently this game would have been if I played down the Sindri turn 1. I could have played 2 if I was so crazy instead of the brand new. The fact that I can't do anything right here, or can I? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to do a blind Gecko leader ability, hoping that I trash an Absalom off the top 2 cards in my deck. Do I do it? No, I do not, ladies and gentlemen. That would have been divine intervention. I think I probably win the game if I do, though. If I can get rid of their Edward Weevil right here, they can't math me out next turn. And I've got the bodies on the board. I really do think I win if I am able to remove that Weevil. But no excuses here. I just got to concede. GG's. It's a tough loss, but alas, it happens sometimes. I try to get the rematch. I am not granted a rematch. That feels bad. But alas, that's just the way it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the games I got for you today. What did you think about them? Personally, I don't think this deck has a crazy disadvantage matchup in a blue Dofi. I think if I grind this deck a little bit more, it does stand a chance. We're able to cheat bodies out early. We're able to attack their hand with Perona. We're able to KO some of their characters with our cards like Sakazuki and Brook. Overall, I think it's a decent matchup. We might have gotten lucky in the Ploofy matchup, but hey, sometimes being lucky is better than being good. Let me know what you think about this deck in the comments below. If you want to win the custom leader. If you want to win the custom leader, all you got to do is 1, leave a like, 2, leave a comment. You know I always appreciate the comments. I respond to almost all of them. I do the best that I can. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Shout out to you. Let me know if you think this deck could use any additions or modifications. I would love to hear your input. Peace.